Greetings, respected viewers. I'm George from Ireland. So here I am in the Vatican Museum in Rome. You can see the dome of the Sistine Chapel. I was there a few minutes ago, as in called Sistine because of Pope Sixtus, who had it built. Anyway, so Sistine as in of Sixtus. And I passed through the Vatican Museum. Bear in mind I've taken the short route because I'm quite limited on time. But seen an infinitude of the most magnificent and resplendent art. Just countless exquisite paintings, sculptures and so forth. Such a gigantic collection of Roman sculpture. You could spend days here admiring it. Remember as a child we had a book of the Sistine Chapel, of the ceiling which was painted by Michelangelo. It took him years to do it, up and down the walls and things like that. And looking at it very carefully, one of the most famous images of God giving the touch of life to Adam's finger is there. So many scenes from the Bible illustrated, and Jesus Christ and the Blessed Virgin up high. There are people being dragged down to hell, someone's loose hide like an empty suit and things like that, demons, rotting corpses and everything. So the divine and also the profane. So many magnificent paintings here, going back many centuries. Look at the ceiling. And so the Sistine Chapel is like this, except about 100 times bigger. But many of the artworks here come from the pagan era, the Roman era. And then you see these kind of things. This is the Hall of Addresses, but by addresses it just means gifts to the Pope of Rome. And like for us, also like Clement VII's vestments, donated to him by the Medici family, who are Counts of Tuscany. Tuscany is that region a bit northwest of Rome. Where the Etruscans used to be in ancient times, so Etruscan to Tuscan hasn't changed very much. So this hall was built at the time of Gregory XVI when he was Pope. Anyway, you can see it's a very sunny day, 33 degrees, but there's a light breeze up, which is a lifesaver. So one who wears the sacerdotal plate, in case you want to chat to a priest, you might have been inspired to religion after the Sistine Chapel. Anyway, there are just so many things to admire, many of them made out of ivory, as you can see. You'll have to come here yourself. So it could take days to go around here, and they don't seem to waste an inch. Look at that. Like coats of arms, the papal tiara, a bit like a crown, but there's the papal tiara, not like a princess's tiara, things like that. So they ought to have mirrors in that Sistine Chapel, so you don't need to crane your neck all the time. It hurts after a while, looking up at all this splendid artwork. And then they've got these mythical creatures, these winged lions and so on. But I think that's a symbol of St. Mark, if I got that right. Because remember the four evangelists, they've got a symbol for each gospel. And look, there's the papal tiara above the door with the cross keys of St. Peter, one silver, one gold. Then look at all these, what do you call them? Is it chasubles, the special cups, or picks, special plate for the communion wafer, things like that. A crozier, as in a bishop's crook, is to lead his flock of sheep. And a crucifix. But as Peter Hitchens said, he didn't like that pathetic image of the sheep, and he noticed there were fat shepherds and lean sheep, as in the laity. And he said that shepherds do not look after ovines because they like them. They either want to eat them or molest them. Not clear which order. Okay, so Pius XI, that you see the papal tiara he's wearing there. So priests wear those very long, do you call them jupe, like that? What else was I going to point out? Just so many popes. So the average pontificate's only been 8 years, because they tend to be elderly men when they were elected. Obviously life expectancy was much shorter. John Paul II was pope for 27 years, and that's the second longest pontificate in history, the longest being the very first, as in the reign of St. Peter. And notably, no pope has been named Peter ever since. We've got Pope Francis at the moment, and no one else has been Pope Francis. He's the first new name to be used in centuries. Usually they use names that previous popes have got. And the names used most frequent was John. It was John the 23rd, Angelo Roncalli, the most recent Pope John, 1958 to 63. Came from a very humble family, didn't expect to be elected Pope, which is when, as Archbishop of Milan, when he took the train down for the papal conclave as to elect the new Pope, he bought himself a return ticket. Well, I think if I'd have known it's papabile, but it would seem a bit presumptuous to buy a one-way ticket on the assumption that he was definitely going to get it. And look, Pius the Ninth, he's the Pope who built this one. So, and then look at that. Oh, it's like Mary, Queen of Heaven, and she's holding the silver and gold keys to the kingdom of heaven, and on and on. So thank you, coronavirus, because it's so empty. There'll be a massive long queue. It'll be jam-packed this time of year usually. And look at these enormous bells here. Okay, there's just so much to appreciate. This beautifully painted woodwork. I mean, look at the detail of some of this. Anyway, getting a bit bored of that papal symbol. All right, all these landscapes. There were loads of maps of all sorts of regions of Italy. Obviously, some sort of concept of Italy since Roman times. We would look at the red hat, a cardinal's hat, and it used to be hung over their funeral after they died, over their coffin after they died at the funeral. But I don't think that they're issued of anymore. But there's still the expression, the red hat, to get the red hat to be made a cardinal. Okay, because some archbishops and bishops are made cardinals. It's usually archbishops. Most archbishops are not. Some bishops very rarely make cardinal. Strictly speaking, any Catholic man can be a cardinal. You can be cardinalum in pectore, as to say cardinal in the chest. And only the Pope knows you're cardinal. You yourself might not even know. So I could be a cardinal without my knowledge. Well, what's the point in that? The office of cardinal's only been around for about 1,000 years. And there's the College of Cardinals, which elects the new Pope when the old Pope dies. The Cardinals invariably pick one of themselves. And so, because prior to that, till 1,000 years ago, the new Pope was elected by acclamation. People of Rome just shouting when various candidates were presented them on the loggia or the balcony. So, anyway, there's so many halls here. You see the absolutely obscene wealth of the Catholic Church. I know it looks lovely, and I appreciate aesthetics as much as the next man. But you think this is a very long way from the humility of Christ. This is all about ostentation, about vanity, self-laudation, luxury. I'm not against luxury, but you think of all the poor people paying their Peter's pence to the church and just going here for the sake of all this frippery and opulence, and it's not going to charitable causes or things like that. Follow the money. Which way was the money going? People used to say about Catholicism, you know, it's the Italians preached Catholicism and the Irish believed it. We were gulled into handing over our money here, and then the high up people in the church, the episcopate, they did not always behave in a Christ-like manner, to put it mildly. But now the church has lost most of its authority and wealth. There are far fewer people coming forward to be priests. I wonder what that tells us. Some people are always in it for the career. I know you get that with any religion and any large organisation. People actuated by the lowliest motives of sympathy, self-aggrandizement, an easy life, social status. Look at that. Is it? No, they're building something rather in Rome. It's not the Tower of Babel. Okay, I could go on and on. It's just endless. You see these Vatican gardens. So we are in the Vatican City. We are in the smallest independent country in the world, only about a square mile. But what a square mile it is. And then just another scene. Wow, it's just endless. And we're very close to St. Peter's Basilica, as in the largest church of the world. I think it's the largest place of worship in the world. That's an image of it. And there's St. Peter's Square in front of it, and the buildings come out like huge arms hugging the world. So much of this splendor was built by pillaging the people of South America of their gold, and tributes from His Most Catholic Majesty the King of Spain. All right, I could go on all day. I think I'll leave it here. So that's enough for the Vatican Museum for a while. Toodaloo.